Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of English Impact. I'm Jake.
And I'm Nina. Today we are diving into a topic that everyone has an opinion on: success and failure. Jake, are you ready to spill your secrets?
Oh, you mean how many times I've failed spectacularly before getting anything right? Yeah, I've got a few stories up my sleeve. But first, Nina, what's your personal definition of success?
Ooh, good one. For me, success isn't just about ticking off goals. It's about feeling proud of what you've done, even if it's something small. What about you? Do you think success is just about winning, or is it more complicated?
I think it's definitely more complicated. For example, think about Thomas Edison. He's famous for inventing the light bulb, but he failed thousands of times before he finally succeeded. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Sometimes, success is just sticking with something long enough to get it right.
Wow, I love that. So, is there a special way people talk about success and failure in English? Like, are there phrases you keep hearing?
Absolutely. English has tons of idioms about both. For example, if someone hits it out of the park, it means they did an amazing job. On the flip side, if someone drops the ball, they made a mistake. Ever heard someone say, "back to the drawing board"?
Yeah, that means it's time to start over, right? Like, your plan flopped, so you have to rethink everything.
Exactly. And here's another, learning the ropes. That's about getting the hang of something new, usually at work. Sometimes success is just about learning the ropes and not giving up, even after some failures.
Love it. So, Jake, tell me about a time you really failed at something. But looking back, you're glad it happened.
Oh, I've got a great one. When I was in college, I tried out for the debate team. I was so nervous I mixed up my notes and totally blanked on stage. I was mortified. But after that, I started practicing public speaking in front of a mirror. If I hadn't failed so badly, I wouldn't have learned how to handle nerves. Now, I actually enjoy speaking in front of people.
That's awesome. So, failure can be the best teacher, right? How do you say it's okay to fail in a natural way in English?
Good question. You might hear people say, "it's all part of the process," or "failure is just feedback." My favorite is fail forward. It means using your mistakes as stepping stones to get better.
That's so positive. Speaking of positivity, what are some ways to celebrate small successes in English? Sometimes people only notice the big wins.
Absolutely. In English, we often say things like, "give yourself a pat on the back," or "celebrate the little victories." Some people even say, "every win counts." Recognizing progress, no matter how small, helps keep you motivated.
Do you think English speakers are more open about talking about failure than in some other cultures?
I'd say yes and no. In some English-speaking cultures, like the US, there's this idea of the comeback story. People love to hear how someone bounced back after failing, but it still depends on the context. In job interviews, for example, you're often asked about a failure and what you learned from it. It's actually a chance to show your resilience.
So, let's say you're in a job interview and someone asks, "Tell me about a time you failed." What's a good way to answer in English?
Great scenario. You want to be honest, but also show growth. You could say, "at my previous job, I missed an important deadline. I realized I needed better time management, so I started using a planner and setting reminders. Since then, I haven't missed a deadline." It's all about showing what you learned.
That's a neat trick. So, you don't just confess your mistakes, you show how you turn them into lessons. What about with friends? If a friend's feeling down about a failure, what could you say to cheer them up?
You could say, "don't be too hard on yourself," or "everyone messes up sometimes." Another one is, "you'll get it next time." And if you want to be funny, you might say, "even superheroes have bad days."
Haha, I love that. Okay, let's flip the coin. What's a good way to congratulate someone in English for a success, big or small?
Besides the classic "congratulations," you could say, "you nailed it," or "way to go." For something smaller, "nice job," or "that's awesome," works well. If you want to be extra enthusiastic, "you're on fire" is a fun one.
You're on fire. I'll use that next time. Are there any phrases that people use to describe someone who's always succeeding?
Sure, you might hear "she's on a roll," which means someone is having a streak of successes. Or "he's a go-getter." That's someone who's ambitious and works hard for their goals. And if someone seems to succeed at everything, people might say, "everything she touches turns to gold."
Ooh, like King Midas. So, can we talk about the opposite? If someone keeps failing but never gives up, what would you call them?
That's a resilient person. In English, we say someone bounces back from failure or keeps getting back on the horse. If you want to compliment their determination, you can say, "You're persistent," or "You've got grit."
I like that. You've got grit. Sounds tough. Do you think people can really learn more from failure than from success?
Honestly, yes. Success feels great, but failure teaches you where you can improve. There's a saying, success is a lousy teacher, but failure is a great one. Think about learning to ride a bike. You fall a bunch of times, but each fall teaches you how to balance better.
That's so true. Okay, time for a curveball. What's the difference between I failed and I am a failure in English? It feels important.
That's a big one. I failed means you didn't succeed at something specific, but I am a failure is about your identity, which is much harsher. In English, it's important to separate the action from the person. Just because you failed at something doesn't mean you are a failure.
Yes. Words matter, right? Okay, how about some phrases for when you want to encourage yourself after a setback?
One of my favorites is, "Pick yourself up and try again," or "It's not over until it's over." Some people use sports analogies, like "keep your eye on the ball." They help you stay motivated and not give up.
I love that. All right, audience time. We got a question from Sam in Brazil. How can I talk about my failures in English without feeling embarrassed?
Great question, Sam. First, remember everyone fails, so you're not alone. You can use phrases like, "I struggled with," or "It didn't go as planned, but I learned." Focus on what you gained from the experience. And sometimes, a little humor helps. "Well, that was a disaster, but at least I've got a story now."
Yes, turning it into a story always helps. Here's a fun one, Jake. What's the funniest language fail you've ever had while talking about success or failure?
Oh, I've got a classic. I once meant to say, "I nailed it," after finishing a project, but I said, "I nailed myself," in front of my whole class. Everyone burst out laughing, and my teacher said, "Well, that's one way to put it."
Oh no, that's hilarious. I once tried to encourage a friend by saying, break a leg, which means good luck in English, but she thought I wanted her to get hurt. Context is everything, folks.
Absolutely. English can be tricky, especially with idioms. But that's how you learn, by making mistakes and laughing about them.
That's right. Okay, let's wrap up with some key takeaway tips for our listeners. What's your top tip for talking about success and failure in English?
My number one tip, be honest, but focus on what you learned. Use positive language, even when things didn't go your way. And don't be afraid to share your stories. Everyone loves a good comeback.
I'd add, don't compare your journey to others. Celebrate your own progress, no matter how small, and use encouraging phrases for yourself and others. Also, don't worry if you mix up an idiom or two. It happens to the best of us.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, success and failure are both temporary. What matters most is how you keep moving forward.
So true. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
And if you have your own stories of success or failure, language fails included, send them in. We'd love to share them on the show.
Until next time, keep learning, keep trying, and keep laughing. Bye, everyone.